as a form of crime. But there are also guns. Some of the guns that are used there or displayed there are illegal. And then there's also damage to critical infrastructure, and there are also a number of other economic crimes that are often experienced in sites, including in the 4 provinces plus Mpumalanga transit crimes or cash in transits. So all of these crimes happen more or less at the same time and close to each other by the same people. And these people who do this, they are in organized crime, and they even borrow each other some of the guns that they use in their criminal activities. South African police are busy at work. Right from this year, from the beginning of this year, in Northern Cape alone, we're just talking about 15 cases that have been recorded. Western Cape, 22 cases recorded. Limpopo, 11 cases. Gauteng, 20 cases recorded. KwaZulu-Natal, 16 cases. Eastern Cape, 141 cases opened. Now, the list goes on in terms of extortion or extortion-related, and then arrests and outcomes and costs and all of that. I don't have the time to explain all of it. But just these figures that I've given to you indicate clearly that we have this scourge and we have to face it head on. I want to share one episode that took place yesterday at George Mkhari Hospital in Garangua, Gauteng. There is a project there which is underway, building of a very critical infrastructure, the oncology unit in that hospital. Now, a group of alleged community members stopped the site, assaulted the manager there, damaged property, stopped delivery trucks from delivering. A case was opened on the 9th of November this year, with charges listed as assault, intimidation, extortion, and trespassing. These are the crimes that are often identified in construction sites. An operation was conducted by police yesterday, and as a result, 3 male adults were arrested. Now, we're not going to spend time relating too many stories of this. No, we're going to spend a lot of time lamenting, but we condemn these acts of people going to sites and behaving in this particular manner. But at the same time, if they are looking for jobs and they are looking for opportunities or opportunities to participate in the rebuilding of South Africa and even building it further, we invite them. Please come over. Move from the other side. Come to the other side. It may not always be possible to talk like this, successful arrest, because some of these people often resist police when they approach them, and they start confronting police. All those who are determined to confront police when they perform their lawful duties, we just wish them good luck. We're encouraging responsible departments and companies on construction sites to promptly report and open cases whenever they come across incidents of this nature. Please open cases. It's even more to open a case than to phone the minister or the deputy minister, but you have not opened the case. If you are afraid to open a case, you are a company manager, you are managing the site, or you are a relevant department, we want to inform you that you can open a case anywhere in the Republic. or outside that site or in any other police station far from you, and the case will be dealt with accordingly. If, for instance, a case has been opened and you find that it is slow, you can escalate it on the spot or at that particular moment to a provincial commissioner, especially if you can do that in writing. But we ourselves in the ministry, we have recruited a warrant officer from SABC to say we need at least a warrant officer in the ministry so that when there are complaints, we have somebody professional who will assist us in processing cases or complaints or grievances relating to opened cases but where there is no progress. Now, while a significant, we also have different toll-free lines, including the national extortion hotline. People are using this hotline, but for a wrong purpose. They just use the toll-free line and ask, is that police? Is that South African police? Okay. And members of parliament in some cases don't believe when we say these lines are actually functional. There are a number of measures that we ourselves in SABC are implementing internally. One critical step that we finalized yesterday is the organizational structure of police, to adapt it to the priorities of this administration, the 7th administration. We're confident that the product will go a long way in enabling us, together with all South Africans and relevant departments, to strengthen our resolve and fight against organized crime. Indeed, it reflects, among others, a unit that we call murder and robbery, so that we confront this with a resourced unit, because one of the crimes that is troubling us in the country is murder, rape and others, which all go with violent crimes. We're strengthening ourselves against this, or in this regard. So the structure now does indicate specialized investigative capacity, so that we up the stakes in combating this particular crime in different units in our country, visible policing on one hand and detectives on the other, at all levels, nationally and provincially, and where possible also in districts. At the end of the day, crimes on construction sites fall under organized crime, and there is capacity in the department to deal with this organized crime overall in the form of DPCI. Why we are saying this is because those people that are busy on sites are actually the extension of some of the people who are sitting back in some posh suburbs, who stand to benefit from the activities that are on the ground, while sitting in some posh places directing others to carry guns and do all sorts of things. We are now escalating our investigations, and I would want all of us to be aware of this, because today the criminals that would act, or suspects that would be active on sites, are not actually the movers. The movers are sitting back in post suburbs and they're directing via phone. We are now escalating our activities and our investigations to reach up to them. So you are no longer safe. And I do want to say this, you are no longer safe, and we'll reach out for everybody. It's going to happen. We are not going to be chasing the small fish. We want to go for the bigger fish who are fed. Now, as I end, while we have made significant strides to recognize that SABC can't tackle and challenge crime alone. We're going out of our way to make deals. It's good that most of you here are business people. So when I talk about deals, you understand what I'm talking about. We're making deals with private sector companies, private security companies, working together with CIRA, and we're making progress. Not only in CIT specific, to be specific as an industry, but general with private security companies, and they are coming forward. They are coming forward with their capacities, especially on investigations, on cameras, and all other equipment, including intelligence, that we so much require. So we're capacitating South Africa General behind South African police to make sure that we are able to confront this particular matter. But at the same time, we are also combining efforts with Eskom, with Telkom, Transnet, and Gautrain. But we are also wanting to partner with DPWI because they are in the coalface of projects, public projects throughout the country. And I'm sure from this meeting we have to come together, have a discussion how we will facilitate reporting at all levels throughout the country so that we can spearhead this fight against criminality in the sector. Not only is there no place for syndicates and gangs in South Africa for construction sites, but in the whole of the Republic of South Africa. This is our country. There must be order, and we will ensure that there is order. We are about to sign an agreement with Business Against Crime, just to make sure that cash in transit crimes are properly attended to whenever it is necessary to do so. Now, in conclusion, let me reaffirm our commitment as South African Police Service that we stand ready to do whatever it takes to protect our construction sector from criminal activities. But I do want to warn some of the police, women and men, whose legs, one leg, or whose legs are overstretched. One leg on criminality, one leg on creating stability and order in the country. Stand tight, be with us. If you decide that you want to be a criminal, you can jump the line, and you know what will follow. I do want to warn members of police that are still prone on disappointing us, that are still prone on embarrassing us, that days are numbered. We are continuously investigating allegations that we come across of police being compromised. And therefore, this is a beautiful day, Minister, where we have to be organized, but against crime, against organized criminals on the construction sites. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Minister. Before we continue to our keynote address, I also just want us to remember that this is not a victimless crime. That the construction mafia is not Robin Hood types that steal from the rich and give to the poor. They steal from the most disadvantaged of our communities and hold for themselves. But also over the years of this crime, there's been people in the construction industry who's been killed and murdered purely for standing up for what is right. So I'd like us, we don't have to stand, just where we are seated, just to take a moment and remember those in the construction industry who've lost their lives in this battle against the construction mafia. Thank you.